free you from something else. Most people just sit back and look at, oh man, I can't get way to free from captivity. Nigga, you ain't free now. You know what I'm saying? If you still mired in sin, you are not free. You not going to leave up out of here. You know what I'm talking about? You're going to get left right there. And he going to murk you. And then he going to wake you up. And he going to kill you again. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people like this here, like B.B. King just died, right? Awesome musician, right? That man left here without God's Spirit. He going to hell. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. And how many of y'all really think that man was living according to the man's word? Because I'll tell you right now, don't nobody want me to come preach at your funeral, because I'm not going to tell no lie. That's even for some of my people in here right now. Let you leave here without the Spirit, I will stand in front of your whole family and tell them, yeah, that nigga going to hell. No problem. No hesitation. I'm not finna lie. I'm not finna do none of that, because if I go in front of your people and lie, guess what? I ought to go to hell with you. You know what I'm saying? If I know you didn't get this man's spirit before you left here, and I know the books say if you don't have it, you don't belong to him, and you damn, then I got to warn them people and say, it's over with for her. It's over with for him. Ain't no repentance in the grave for them. But y'all got a chance to get it right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna lie. I wouldn't care who it was. My own mama, sister, brother, cousin, whoever. Oh yeah, that nigga going to hell. No problem. I had my homeboy one time. He said, bro, am I going to go to hell? I said, yeah, you're going to go. You keep doing what you're doing. What you mean? He looked at me and said he wouldn't have laughed because he knew I was going to tell him that, but he was really trying to see what I really look him in his eyes and tell him that. Yeah, you going. What you thought I was going to tell you? Nigga, you whoremonger. You lie on a regular basis. You get drunk every day. You smoke weed every day. You going to hell, man. And you already know you going to hell. What you ask me for? Why don't you got enough common sense to change it? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing. Can any of y'all think of anything in this world worth doing or keeping to go to hell for? So if the word came, now if the word came up and showed you a behavior or something that you was doing would cost you your soul, would you keep doing it, or would you come up with an excuse to continue to do it? Or is whatever you trying to hold on to more important to you than dwelling with God? It's a lot of stuff I like to do. Each one of y'all know I love to go smoke me a joint right now. I love my soul more than I love that weed, though. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about it like last night. I like Air Maxes. I don't like them enough to go to hell for them, though. Like, straight up. Something that minute. I done had people tell me, so I go to hell for wearing pants or smoking weed. You going to hell for being disobedient. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit back and look at on the act or the matter. You're going to hell because I told you not to do. That's no different. How many times any of y'all mama or daddy told y'all not to do something? They told y'all whoop your behind if you did it, and you did it anyway. What did they do? What did they do? When they walked through the door, they say, well, it's all right, you ain't do it. Why? Let you know. What you think the Father in heaven going to do when that time come upon and you around here playing? You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to look at it. Like this here, like I say, us three, we grew up together. He know I wasn't raised in the word. So you said when that man came and showed me what time it is, and then the Lord actually allowed me to see the gravity of the situation, oh, this too serious for me. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. I wouldn't care what it was. I'm going to give it up. That's what we sit back looking at what we mentioned before they came in here. Let's read that Philippians 3 while I'm thinking about it. 3 and 8. We're going to close that out about being perfect and upright. Then I'm going to deal with this thing I told you about with Jacob and loving your enemies, because I got time. I can get it done in 30 minutes. Philippians 3 and 8. I want y'all to hear it. I'm going to read verse 5 because I like it. Remember we were talking about the other day? Say what? Say, am I a Hebrew? So am I, nigga. Say, am I? Huh? That's what Paul said. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? That's how you know, boy, Paul was 100 when he hear what you mean. Say, you an Israelite? So am I. You know what I'm talking about? Say, you the seed of Abraham? So am I. He said, and I'm circumcised 8th day, nigga. Better go find out, man. You know what I'm saying? You had to like how he spit that, though. You remember when we first looked at it? Yeah. When I first looked at the shoe, I like how he spit that. Let it be known. You want a glory, nigga? Shoot, I can get it in, too. That's how you supposed to feel, though. You know what I'm saying? But you know why Paul had that type of pride to do it? Because he was living upright. You know what I'm saying? I can, if you want to talk about glory, I can do that. I'm a Jew too. I'm an Israelite too. I'm circumcised 8th day too. What you mean? See, but I don't do that though. I'd rather glory in the cross of the Lord. I'd rather do that, though. You know what I'm saying? Look what he say, verse 5. Circumcised the 8th day, stock of Israel, the tribe of Benjamin, Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law of Pharisee. Concerning zeal, persecuting the house, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. That's what we sit back looking at, right? He said he bring you out that bondage so you can be blameless. That's what upright means. The whole purpose of bringing us up out of there. Remember what he told them when they were on the mountain in Exodus 20? He said, man, don't be scared, man. God came to prove you to see if you would sin or not. The whole purpose of us coming out is for us to be blameless. We ain't got no time to be playing. This thing winding down. Now, what y'all think gonna happen if you ain't actually been taught of the Messiah to actually have a true faith in him and these people start coming for us behind this word? Because they ain't coming for us for the word yet. They coming for you because you a nigga. When I say nigga, I mean that's how they look at it. They don't see black people. They don't see Hebrews. They don't see Jews. They see niggas. You know what I'm saying? They coming for you because you black. Now, what you gonna do when they start coming for you because you stand for your God? What you gonna do then? How many niggas gonna be willing to go to jail and get killed then? Because niggas talk a lot of gangster stuff in peacetime. You know what I'm saying? When it's peaceful, niggas talk a lot of stuff. See, like, they can't scare me with prison. I already been there. So you can't scare me with that. Oh, we'll lock you up for this Bible. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? What you mean? If I've been to jail for selling crack, what you going to... So I'm going to be scared to go to jail for the Lord? So I'm scared of that. Now, if you got faith in the Lord, then you ain't going to have no fear of dying because you know you're going to wake up again to everlasting life. So you can't kill something that's ready to die, so you can't scare me there. But if you haven't received that faith and know that you fought the good fight of faith to get a reward, you're going to have some trepidation. I don't know about this with him. I don't know about this with him. You sure about that? You're going to be like this here, man, Jesus, y'all sure, whatever you call him. I don't know that nigga. Don't think it's a game. Don't think it's going to happen. Don't think a lot of these dudes ain't going to do it. Play with it if you want to. It's real easy to talk real greasy in peacetime. It's a lot different when woe got going down. And your soul and your life going to be required. That's why he came back and told us, don't fear them that can kill the body. You know what that take us back to when he said don't fear them that kill the body? That take you back to Hananiah and Mishael and Azariah. Take you back to Daniel. Them people came back trying to kill him. They didn't have no fear. Their mind was set on him who could destroy them later. They say he able to deliver us. Cool. I don't see you though. If you gonna throw me in here, fix your face, boy. There you go. Keep it on the inside. Keep it on the inside. I appreciate it. You can't have that type of fear. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not of y'all if you got that type of fear. That mean, I'm telling you, if you scared to die, that only means one thing. You know you going to hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be dead 100 with you. If you scared to die, it's because you know you going to hell. That means you know you ain't received a man's spirit. You know you haven't been doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because the Lord wasn't scared to die. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't scared to die. Now I know you're looking at them parts where he say when we were asking for the cup, that's because they were prophecy. It were things in the book had to be fulfilled. He had to do that. You know what I'm talking about? But when you sit back looking at it, he came in, he already know he had to fulfill the book. I had to eat my bread with quaking and trembling. I had to do that. I had to be sorrowful. It's written. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to perish, so I had to drink this wine. It's written. I got to do all this here. The book got to be fulfilled. But it was time to go. He told her, hey, man, for this cause was I born, and for this cause I came in the world. Make it do what it do, man. Because he knew, I'm going to get up. You know what I'm saying? That's the faith that he had. I'm going to get up. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit back and look at that. If you die right now, is you getting up? You know what I'm saying? Is you getting up? You got to have that supreme confidence to know, I done stood. I know I'm getting up. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm getting up. Like Paul said, I fought the good fight of faith, man. It's a crown laid up for me. I'm getting up. I'm getting up. Look at the confidence that Martha had when the Lord came to her. He said, man, she said, I know my brother will get up again on the last day. She know Lazarus done stood. We standing too. See, that's the mind we got to have. You don't want to get caught up in Hebrew culture so bad. You want to get caught up in Kodesh culture, which is standing on that man's word and setting yourself apart according to it. That's what you want to get caught up in. If you want to do other stuff that go along with our culture, I ain't got no problem with that. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's your lifestyle that's important to me. Because all the other stuff's not going to save your soul. Because that man ain't looking at none of that. He don't care about none of the outfits you got on. He don't care about none of the names you give yourself. All he looking about is, do they believe me? Are they standing? Oh, that nigga ain't standing. I'm going to kill him. You sit back and look at all them that came out the wilderness. He swore in his wrath. That nigga ain't getting him. Boy, you know how scared that got to be for this man to swear on his name? He ain't getting in here. You know how many dudes walk around this earth right now? When he's swearing on his wrath, you ain't getting in. You know how many people out here walking around like that? He ain't getting in. She ain't getting in. He ain't getting in. And they still walk around here like it's sweet and it's lovely. See, that's the things that most people, they don't put this in our mind and tell us about that type of stuff. And what we would actually be circumspect, like the law tells us in Exodus, about what we do. Because then you wouldn't do it. That's why people have such a lackadaisical attitude about committing sin. Because don't nobody really put you that. That's dangerous. Shouldn't do that. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. We don't have that type of mind. It's just like what me and Troy were talking about the other day, man. It's just like, okay, you just a part of something. You in another social club. You just switched it from Sunday to Saturday. That's all you did. Because you still got the same mind, the same heart, the same way, the same doings. You just know your actual nationality. That's it. You know your God's name now. But you still fundamentally the same person. You know what I'm saying? That's what we looking to be transformed and changed and literally become sons of God. That means it's going to take a death going to have to come about. That means sacrifice is going to have to be made. But let me finish it right here. Listen what he say, verse 7 now. But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for the Messiah. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of the Messiah Yahshua my Lord, for whom I suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I might win the Messiah. So let's go back and look at Numbers 14. Let's see if these people counted this stuff for loss.
Are you still restarting or no?
Yeah, I am. I got 20 more minutes. It won't take that long. Number 14 and 1. If not, probably not. I see it's 5 for 20.
Yeah, that's all that.
You got to see that. He said, the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron and the whole congregation, and said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore have Yah brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and children should be prey? Were it not better for us to return to Egypt? See, they were looking backwards then, wasn't it? See, because they were going forward. They couldn't sit back and realize in their mind that you forgot that you were in bondage then. Had you forgotten that you were crying out and you were heavy laden and you labored and you were seeking rest? Did you forget that? They were ready to go back to sin. Now let's come back to John chapter 8. See, that's the stuff to sit back and see the whole purpose. You know what every preacher job is supposed to do? To warn the people. To warn. You know what I'm saying? That man told you in Psalms 19, he say, man, man, your law is perfect. It convert the soul. And he's saying, through them, thy servant is warned. You know what I'm saying? They ain't warning nobody. How many times you gonna tell? I know dudes that have whole lessons on one Hebrew word. I wasted my Sabbath for this. I seen a nigga had a Sabbath lesson about the dietary law. I got up and came here for this. Nigga already knew not to eat that. You know what I'm saying? Nigga standing on the corner every Sabbath telling you Israel. Nigga, we got it. Now what? Now what? I'm still the same person. I'm still not upright. Because we're going to read that Leviticus 26 one more time. He said, I am Yah which brought you out of Egypt, the house of bondage, and delivered you from these burdens, and caused you to be upright. That means if you get in the sun, the purpose of coming out the sun is to be perfect. That's the purpose. But before you become perfect, you know it's going to be a little affliction, a little trying, a little purging, a little fire. It's going to be a whole lot of stuff before you come out on that other end perfect. And I ain't talking about being perfected when you dead. You got to be perfected while you breathing. Then you'll be perfected when you get up out the ground. Because then you'll be able to put on your house from heaven that we all desire. I think everybody in here desire that, don't they? I would hope so, because why would you be here? You know what I'm saying?
Michael, come here.
John chapter 8, I'm going to read verse 31 one more time. Well, actually 34. Yahshua answered them, truly, truly, I say unto you, whosoever commits sin is the servant of sin. The servant abide not in the house forever, but the Son abide forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. Now we know that lamb was representative of the Son. Did it not make us free when we came out of Egypt? So he was showing you again, I'm coming to make you free. But I'm coming to free you from them burdens that you had on it. What we heard Paul just said, I'm in captivity by this right here. My members, my flesh got me captive to sin. I need to be free. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14. Thank you, Lord. CJ, you all right? Put your legs down. You're not a horse. Forasmuch then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had power of death, that is the devil, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. Now when we sit back and we look when we came up out of Egypt, wasn't all our ancestors their whole life subject to bondage? Who were they in fear of? I'm going to show you who they was in fear of. Exodus chapter 6. Yeah, they was in fear of Pharaoh. So guess who Pharaoh would be representative of? He's representative of Satan. Because he was the one who was putting the burdens and the bondage on the people. Y'all just work with me. I got about, well, one more. I'm going to make it clear to me because we got to get out of here. I have to say that there too. Exodus 6. Let me see. Thank the Lord. That's what he said in Isaiah 28. He said, what Paul said in 2 Corinthians chapter 3. He said, since we have such great hope, we use great plainness of speech. You know what I'm saying? So when we sit back and we actually look at this stuff, it'll be like, man, this stuff don't make no sense till you tie it all together. Then it made perfect sense. And then you sit back and look at, how did I miss that? You know what I'm saying? When every time we get out there on them blog talks, man, I always mention that because I be wanting, it's actually Exodus 5 that I want. Probably about verse 4. I always say that here is, how do these dudes don't know this? How have you been preaching 10, 15, 20, 30 years and you can't find this man in this book? How you don't know Eliab, the man who had wisdom and understanding put in his heart to build the sanctuary, was similar to the Peter? You know what I'm saying? How you don't know Bezalel, the man of the tribe of Judah who had wisdom, understanding, and all manner of workmanship to build the house, is representative of the Messiah? You know what I'm saying? How you don't know that? Don't you know? I'm talking about one day, man, I sit you down. I might can show y'all some of this here when we leave here, if y'all want to, because we usually go hang out at a park somewhere when we leave from here. And I can gladly sit down and go through anything you want to when we leave from here. But we can sit back, man, and we can find numerous different men from the tribe of Judah who you think the reason why they mentioned they were from the tribe of Judah because they were similitudes of the lion of the tribe of Judah. Whether it be Achan, whether it be, I forget the man's name in 1 Chronicles chapter 4, who named Jabez, you know what I'm talking about? Whether it be all them, because you sit back and look at it, ran a genealogy of all them people in 1 Chronicles chapter 4, and then it just made, for some reason, just to mention Jabez from the tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying? Why would it mention that? Why does it mention Achan from the tribe of Judah? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that all the tribes that mention he got to be from Judah? Why did a man who had the Spirit of God filled in him with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and skill to build the sanctuary, he just happened to be from Judah? All the tribes, why is Caleb? He just happened to be from the tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying? This stuff, we have to know this. Because you're not going to get that justification of faith through the Son without knowing it. You know what I'm saying? You can eat, you can abstain from all the swine you want. You can keep all the Sabbaths you want. But if you don't know the Son, you're doomed.
Josh. Come on.
You doomed. I forgot your dad here. Now he can get you. You know what I'm saying? I had a call. I said, well, shoot, his daddy in here. No, he can get it. You know what I'm talking about? See, your daddy got a little bit more patience with you. I'm going to go ahead and just say, boy, suck it up and keep it on the inside. That's all I'm telling you. Keep it on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Make him cry like, she used to cry like that. Like one of them old black ladies at a funeral. I tell you, keep it on the inside. You like to say, keep it on the inside. I don't want to hear the holler. I don't care about you crying. Just keep it on the inside. That's how you got to make it do it. Exodus 5 and 4. You know I ain't lying. You used to see it. She would be hollering. I said, hush that noise. I don't want to hear all that hollering, man. Keep it on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man. That's y'all. I don't play with them children. I don't want to hear all that crying. You seen Lizzie do that today. Lizzie had a mouth full of bananas. She seen her daddy. Like this here, she don't respect me like that. She think I'm a hugger. I ain't gonna hug her. I'm gonna just tell you, be quiet. You keep on crying, I'm gonna walk away and leave you there. How many of y'all do that there? I'll walk off and let them sit there crying. It don't bother me. You can holler. I'll walk off. I'll walk right on off. That nigga stop after a while. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, little Muffin walk off on her too. You'll walk off on her more. Yeah.
Right now with me.
Huh?
You gotta stop right now with me. I ain't trying to hear all that.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, she got this here, you know, Liz gonna do. I'm gonna walk off though. You don't wanna hop, I'm gonna walk off. Just like when she was little about a year, she used to fall out in the middle of the floor. And you know what I used to do? Get in her face and mock her. Straight up. Get in her face and mock her. She stopped doing it, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. You mock her. I do all that type of stuff. Ain't my baby. I ain't gotta beat her. I'm mock her. I'm mock her. Shoot, don't be like this here. I heard about you. She said, Mom said you be killing Kingston. See, you drop your head, yeah, you be killing. I ain't got to do that now. All I got to do is just lift my voice up. Kingston, stop.
I'm too hard.
I'm telling you. Hurt that boy. He gonna remember that. Gonna hit you with a macho man leg drop or something. And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works get ye under your burdens? And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, you make them rest from their burdens. And Pharaoh commanded the same taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, you shall no more give the people straw to make brick as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. And the tale of the bricks which they did make heretofore you shall lay upon them. You shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our God. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein. Let them not regard vain words. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Only drop on it. Ain't that something? Now we still sit back and look at something. You find the verse that I want to know. Look about verse 14. And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded, wherefore have you not fulfilled your task, and making brick thereof, making brick both yesterday, today, and hithertofore. Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, why? Saying, wherefore deal thou thus with thy servants? There is no straw given unto thy servants. And they say to us, make brick, and behold, thy servants are beaten. But the fault is in thy own people. He say the fault with your own people. Ain't that something? And guess what though? When you sit back and look at it, that's what these white folks do to us now when they beat us, kill us, and lock us up. They say it's your fault because you a beast. You know what I'm saying? It's your fault that you broke that boy's spine, but it's my fault.
May I have your attention, please?
That's
May I
what
have your
people
attention,
do.
please? Library will close in 30
You know what I'm saying?
minutes.
That man came and said, I'm making it hard on you because of your own people. You make it hard on us because you're a bastard.
15 minutes at 5:45.
You know what I'm saying? That's just
The
be
library will
honest.
close promptly at
How is
6
it my
p.m.
fault?
At
I'm
this time, if
enslaved
you're
with
working
you.
on a computer, please remember to save your
I didn't
work.
come here to be enslaved. You
Or
enslaved
to
me.
print so you don't lose it.
And you gonna make it hard on me and then try to use reverse psychology and say it's my fault? That's the same thing they do right now. They blame us for our servitude. And the first thing they scream when you say, hey man, we oppress, you do us like this here. That was in the past. You ought to forget it. You know what I'm saying? I can't say if that was in the past. I guess the past was 10 minutes ago. He say, but he say, but ye say ye are idle, and therefore ye say, let us go and sacrifice to Yah. Go therefore and work, for there shall be no straw given you. You shall deliver the tale of bricks. Look at verse. And then they say, you know, Moses went and met him, and they say, you know, look upon us. And Moses cried to Yah. You say you ain't delivered the people yet. And you know, the people went to cry to Moses about this here. Ever since you went to tell them people, man, it got worse for us. That's what we don't sit back and look at, because see, we think everything, when God come, everything's supposed to be smooth. You know, I'm going to tell y'all something. You know, the Egyptians had a better chance of becoming the sons of God than we did. Why would y'all think they had a better chance of becoming sons of God than we did? Any of y'all got an idea why they had a better chance? You know, when all them plagues hit, who did they affect? So why you think he stopped them from coming through that water, which is a symbol of baptism? Because Israel didn't go through nothing. They were afflicted. You know what I'm talking about? And then if they would have came through that, they would have had a better chance. They actually suffered. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that baptism is symbolizing death and resurrection, a rebirth, they actually suffer something. Reason why a lot of brothers is not going to make it and become sons is because you won't suffer. You know what I'm saying? You notice that Paul said, in the excellency of the knowledge of the Messiah, that I might win that. When we sat back and we looked at everything that we went through and everything and the signs and wonders, he said, how long you not going to believe me for all the signs that I showed you? You know what I'm saying? They couldn't look at the knowledge they were getting. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 8. After we look at Deuteronomy 4 and 8, 1 John chapter 3. And then that'll call it a day. Come on, get ready to shut it down. Who got bubble gum? That's you got something like bubble gum. No, I ain't here all for it. You better check that baby pamper. Back up about verse 4. He said, but ye that did cleave unto Yah your God, you are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yah my God commanded me, that you should do it so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as Yah our God in all things that we call upon him for? Remember how the Son said, if you abide in me, you'll call on the Father and he'll do so as I require. Remember, we done looked at that, right? Remember how we looked at that with Bathsheba, how that was representative of the Lord? Because she sat at the right hand of the king, and whatever request she made, he didn't tell her nothing. And now you got the Son sitting at the right hand of the Father, and whatever request he make on our behalf, the Father won't tell him no. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgment so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? See, they didn't sit back and look at the excellency of the knowledge that they were going to get. All they were looking at is what was behind them. You know what I'm saying? That's what we had to sit back and look at. The knowledge that we can get from the Messiah is what will save our soul. Like Paul said in 2 Timothy 3 and 14, he said, man, you've known to quote that scripture since a child and know that the knowledge of Yahshua the Messiah is able to make you wise unto salvation. You know what I'm saying? You able to know that. Hold on. Ephesians 2 and 10 first. Finish that workmanship. Hold on. I got to hit 1 Peter chapter 2 as well. Then we'll get 1 John 3. Then we'll get Matthew 13. And then we'll get out. Y'all just bear with me. In conclusion to the matter, y'all right? What you winking your eye for? You gotta sit. You gotta spasm. You got Tourette's. You having a seizure? Kingston. Oh my! He said it, Mouse. I ain't say it. I ain't say it.
Trying to get that last set, the last rub for you.
I ain't say it, Mouse. I ain't say it this time.
With the next on there, you last one, this thing gonna lock it up.
That's why you got to get you some stuff in you for again. You don't get no lockup.
Why ain't trying? I don't know. We'll talk about that when this goes.
Okay, I'm telling you now. Yeah, we here because I'm gonna kill you in the morning. We got work to do at 2 o'clock, ain't it, man?
Let's go.
Yeah, that means we got to be in there by 9:30. Then be done by 12.
Ready,
You know what I'm saying?
Right, what's up?
It ain't nothing but chest and all. He ain't coming. You know that nigga ain't finna work out with me, man. That nigga gonna do his own workout. He ain't come do what I'm doing. Man, ain't nothing. It's like, man, I might put this other, I'm gonna put that double rep method on, you know. I'm gonna tell you about it in a minute. He said, for we are his workmanship created in the Messiah, Yahshua, unto good works, which God has ordained that we should walk in them. This is going back to what we looked at last night, right? Because we looked at Bezalel was the builder of the sanctuary. We just said he was skilled in all manner of work. We are the work of the Messiah hand, because remember how we already read in Isaiah 64, he said, you are the potter and we are the clay. We are the work of your hands. You know what I'm saying? We the work of the Messiah's hands. He was skilled in the work because he had the spirit of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the 7 spirits of God, and they only mention 6 in Isaiah 11. The 7th is judgment, which Dan name means, which he hasn't done that. That's what he do when he get back. You know what I'm saying? So when we sit back looking at that, all the things that he doing is to craft us that we would be just like him. Because at the end of the day, when you sit back and you look at Jacob and Esau, you know, Jacob put on the firstborn. The father couldn't see. Only thing he could see was, only thing the Father in heaven see is the firstborn, and you get the blessing. The only thing he said, let me touch him. It sound like Jacob, feel like Esau. That's my firstborn son, bless him. That's all the Father see is the firstborn. He can't see nothing else. That means you got to put him on. That means you got to put off your filthy rags. You got to put off your righteousness, and you got to put on the clean linen, clean and white, which is the righteousness of the saints, and put the Son on, and he will acknowledge it. Yeah, indeed. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Tony says he's having a hard time making calls, but he will be here for Pentecost. He's going to get the room at the Hampton Inn. Now, I know some of y'all told me a couple of things which would preclude you from coming, and that might be understandable. But boy, I'm telling you now, that still might not change the fact you're going to get clowned that a man come all the way from Australia. A man coming all the way from Australia to serve your God, and you in the same country and you sat to the house. And it been in his heart, because I've been telling y'all this for a long time. I'm also reiterate to y'all, I know y'all know the dress code for Pentecost, but I'm going to tell you again, just in case, so if you forgot. 1 John 3 and 8, I should say. He that commits sin, I said 1 Peter 2 and 9, my bad. I'm on the verse I wanted last. 1 Peter 2 and 9, listen what he says. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a Kodesh nation, a peculiar people. Because didn't he say about Bezalel that he knew all curious works and art? Meaning curious, meaning peculiar or strange, not like everything else. And guess what we supposed to be if we the workmanship of his hands? Strange, odd to everybody else. That you should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in times past were not a people, but now are the people of God, which have obtained mercy, but now have, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Because when we were in Egypt, we were not a people, and we hadn't obtained mercy. But when the man came through and brought you out to make you upright, to break those bonds. You know who another person who broke bonds to free people, right? Saints. And you know Acts chapter 2 say death, he broke the cords of death because it wasn't possible that he should be held by it. All this showing back when we were coming up out of Egypt. Were we a people in Egypt? No. Did we have mercy in Egypt? No. You know what I'm talking about? But when he brought us up out of that, what happened? We became a people and he had mercy on us. And then when we sit back looking at it, when the Messiah came, we were not a people. We didn't have mercy. So he ended up doing the same thing he did in Egypt all over again. Only difference was he used his son. You know what I'm saying? And now when he come back and get us, I ain't got to kill nobody to bring him out because I've already done it. So when I'm coming to crack heads. 1 John 3 and 8. After that, Matthew 13 and 47. He that commits sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning. Listen what he said. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested that he might destroy the works of the devil. When you look at Exodus 15, probably about verse 13, it said the enemy was dashed into pieces. Your right arm dashed the enemy to pieces and cast him in the sea. Yahshua is the right arm. The enemy was deaf. The devil had power over them. His sole purpose is like the Passover lamb was manifested to destroy the works of Pharaoh, the same way Yahshua was manifested to destroy the works of Pharaoh. This instance, Pharaoh being the devil. Ain't that something? It's a magnificent Savior. Wonderful Savior. How in the world can anybody come at you and convince you not to believe on the man? I spit in the nigga's face. Make it out my face. You know what I'm saying? Straight up now. I ain't gonna literally spit in their face. I'm gonna spit some words in their face. If I could, I'd spit in their face. But I ain't gonna spit in their face. That'd be kind of rude. Then I know a fight come with that. You know what I'm saying? You spit in a grown man's face, a fight come with that. He said, whosoever is born of God do not commit sin, for his seed remain in him. He cannot sin because he's born of God. Going right back to Leviticus. I'm Yah your God, which brought you out of the house of bondage, who broke the yoke that was on you to make you upright. Because when we came up out of Egypt, we went through that water. When he split the Red Sea, that was to make us to be born of God. And we were supposed to come out on the other side, sons of God, upright, no sin. It didn't happen then, so he had to come back and do it later. Matthew 13:47. And again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good in the vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Yahshua said unto them, have ye understand all these things? Y'all understood all this stuff this afternoon? They said unto him, yea, Lord. Then he said unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which bring forth out of his treasure things new and old. Praise ye Yah for Yahshua HaMashiach in the world. Now we got to get out of here.